Good evening, and hello everybody. What game week? It's game week 19 live reaction with me and Steve-O, and we have a lot to talk about with a lot of disappointments and a lot of jubilations. Hello there, Simon Bellamy. We've got Simon Bellamy in chat. Hazard's just scored. I can see that.
Hold on, we got another goal. Hold on, Jason.
Goal. Okay.
So, Roberto Pereira, no. Oh,
you're joking.
This is really annoying me.
Is it an equaliser? Pereira equaliser.
Yeah, he's just scored. And I know Jack Gleeson has got him coming off the bench for Martial.
Oh my God, no way.
Really, really infuriates me that this game really angers me so much. Yeah, Jack Gleeson, he's going to have him coming on. But who? Your player that you brought in that didn't come in, Martial. Oh, Jason, 2 goals in the space of literally 2 minutes.
Wow.
Anyway.
Wow. That's all I'm going to say is just wow. I'm just trying to get the screen capture to show the here we go. Right, so I've got it working now. It's all good. Okay, so the Chelsea game is now 1-1, it seems. So Alonso owners will be upset about that. And Holebas got the assist. Kovacic.
Oh, no. Really?
Yeah, Holebas with the assist. Kovacic with the assist for Hazard. It's actually just been given. And yeah, so at the moment, it's looking like it's going to be some decent points for those Hazard owners.
I was looking at Dale Bellamy's team. He's brought in Holebas, but I'm sure he benched him. Yeah, he benched him.
The average at the moment, the average as it stands in the top 10k is 55.4 with projected bonus points. The overall total average at the moment is 45.1 with projected bonus points. It's an aggregate measure of 10.4 points and 9.5 players having played out of 11. 98% of captains have played, which is no surprise, considering there's only one more game after today. So, Steve-O, should we just start with the teams in our elite FPL? Do you want to just discuss how they've performed?
I mean, I think we'll quickly go through the results of today, and it started all with Fulham versus Wolves. Well, should have been a Fulham win. I was literally listening to the game today on the radio, and it should have been like Fulham winning by 3 or 4 goals, but ended 1-1. Sessing, just players that no one owns. Sessegnon and Siasis. How do you pronounce his name?
Sice. I don't know. Sice, I'd imagine.
No idea. But then on to well, here's the first talking point. Burnley 1, Everton 5.
Yes.
Digne. And I know people are going to be getting. I know Ben Towler. He's getting Digne off the bench.
I know. I saw that. Let me just load his team up because this. I can't believe the luck. I mean, he's not got Martial playing, who actually incidentally suffered an illness today that kept him out of the squad. Now, last night I read that Martial hadn't travelled to the Lowry Hotel, and alarm bells started to ring to the point where I almost expected the inevitable of him not actually featuring at all. And I'd already done a -8, and we will talk about my decision to do my transfers and how I feel I've performed this game week as a result. Now, Martial not featuring, I almost thought, should I get Lingard in for Martial? I was really close to doing another don't even ask why. And it wouldn't have made much of a difference to my score, I don't think, with obviously Lingard's assist. So anyway, I didn't get him in. I've got Martial in. But yeah, let's talk about for a second Ben Towler, who's going to have Digne coming in for Martial with his 14 points. And I think he's going to get a bonus 3 as well, which is incredible for a defender. 17 points for a defender. And there will be some people out there that would have captained Digne this game week because people do crazy things like that. So yeah, it was what a game. 5-1 Burnley. I mean, they're just shipping goals at the moment. Steve, what have you got any sort of thoughts on Burnley, and are they going to survive this year?
No, we're going to be relegated. We are just absolutely useless. There's a guy at work. He makes comparisons with Sean Dyche and Wenger, not meaning that they're at the high standards of Arsene Wenger, meaning that Dyche just seems to be stuck in his same old ways, just like Wenger, and it's just not going anywhere, and he's just coming out with any old excuse now. And I think actually,
do you think his job's under threat?
Yeah, I do. I think after today, and after the last game, and the game before, the point being is that we are absolutely appalling this season.
Yeah.
And there's no the problem is that there's teams around us: Fulham, Cardiff, Huddersfield. Okay, I know they're bottom, but they're getting something like Cardiff today away 0-0. It's still a point. Fulham today, that's 2 games in a row now that they've picked up 2 points. We've got 0. It's just getting worse and worse for us. And like you said, we're shipping goals for fun. We went with I say a 3-5-2. It was a 5-3-2. It's just terrible, Jason. And there's nothing I can say, really. I mean, from a real life perspective, it's absolutely disgusting.
Yeah.
From a fantasy football, it's like God's gift to anybody that's playing Burnley.
Again,
from a real life.
Again, Sigurdsson returning points as well, projected to get bonus 2. On top of that, he is a favourite for FPL. Obviously, Richarlison came off the bench, and that was a transfer that I did, and he managed to get in a. Did he get a goal? I think he got a goal, didn't he?
He got a goal and a yellow card.
He got a goal and a yellow card in the 24 minutes, I believe he played. Ben Hatt in chat says Alonso to Digne. Now, for the last few weeks, I've actually been saying, and you can watch the podcast back and you can double check, but I've been saying that I don't think Alonso's value is worth the 7 million. I feel that there's a lot more defensive assets that offer this similar amount of attack. Like I would say that that Doherty and Digne offer the same attacking threat as Alonso, and you're freeing up 2 million. Up to 2 million in price, where you can spend in the midfield, or you can upgrade a striker. And we've seen it now for the last few game weeks that Chelsea are leaking goals, and they're not reliable enough. And we'll move on through the other fixtures because we don't want to just dwell on one. So we're going to go down to the Crystal Palace and Cardiff game, the most eventful game of the weekend, of the week midweek.
Has no bearing on fantasy other than the fact that everybody's got Aaron Wan-Bissaka. He's coming off the bench.
And incidentally, Wan-Bissaka is going to be getting a bonus 2, so it's a nice Christmas bonus there for Aaron Wan-Bissaka owners, the high percentage of Aaron Wan-Bissaka owners. So I'll let you introduce this one then. So the big surprise of this midweek has been again Man City dropping points, Steve-O.
But the history, even though it was going with a very tight, close Man City victory, this isn't actually a surprise result. It's just the fact that City have lost again. That's why it's a surprise. From a fixture history perspective, actually, this isn't a surprise at all, because that's now the 4th time that Leicester have actually held off Man City, 2 of which have been in the Cup. But yeah, they are now 7 points off.
I've got a theory. I've got a theory on it.
Yeah, go on.
One man that's missing at the moment for City, Mr.
Aguero.
David Silva.
All right, okay.
I feel like since he got injured, or and picked up the muscle injury, they've with De Bruyne, obviously I don't think De Bruyne is fully fit yet, and I just feel like they haven't had that sort of like cutting edge attack over the last few game weeks, and they've scored 1 goal against Leicester. They scored last week against Crystal Palace. Where are we? They scored 2 goals against Crystal Palace. I mean, before that they were free scoring. 3 goals against Everton. They did lose to Chelsea. I will concede that they scored 2 goals at Watford. So yeah, up until like beginning of December, they were scoring a lot of goals, and they just seem to be trouble to get the goals at the moment. Obviously, Jesus Aguero returning into the team today, got that assist. So yeah, at the moment we got in chat right now. Richard S says, should I get rid of Sterling? Pereira for Sterling. Alan T saying Pereira to Sterling. I mean, it's going to be a question that a lot of people are going to be asking naturally. I would say hold off for the moment. I don't think City are in a real bad form. I don't think they're going to continue to lose games. I think we can't fool ourselves. They still offer the best attack in the league when they are full, when they're firing on all cylinders. And I really do think that the David Silva injury has impacted their creativity in the midfield a little bit. Obviously, Sané, Sterling, they thrive on those through balls. They really do. You get a through ball, Sané on the end of it, defenders are struggling to catch him. He cuts in, does a skill, slots it in the bottom left, bottom right. Same with Sterling, or they get on the end of a cross. Again, it's going to be a through ball that goes to one of the wide players. They haven't really had that sort of threat in recent weeks, and I really would be watching closely at the fitness of David Silva. But I do think keeping hold of Sterling at the moment is probably wise, although there is always that risk that Mahrez is going to start the next game. Salah is set and forget now. We'll go on to Liverpool in a moment, but I think Fernandinho is a great asset. Fernandinho he does start and build up a lot of attacks, but again that chemistry between Fernandinho Silva, they seem to work really well in the midfield, and I just feel at the moment that it's just not like the machine isn't as oiled as it has been, and it's breaking down in the attack. And I think a lot of teams are just sitting back and they're able to defend quite easier with the direct play that they're doing. But anyway, Steve-O, so that was the Leicester City. Yeah.
You mentioned Liverpool there. Salah for you.
Yeah.
It really, really, really gets to me when Liverpool win 4-0. Fine. Could see it coming. Not a problem with that at all. But what frustrates me even more is when, we'll get to it in a minute, is when you've captained Salah, I've captained Kane, along with lots of others. Spurs win 5-0, Kane gets a single goal. And in fact, you know what? I was so angry when United conceded that. I know this hasn't got anything to do with Kane, but when United conceded that last-minute goal,
it was silly.
I was just like, right.
I was watching the game. It was one of those goals, Steve, that it was a messy goal, but it was a goal that it was hard to defend. It really was. It was a set piece. It came in to the right hand side. It got headed across, and it was a great header. I don't know who it was for Huddersfield that headed it across. It was Zanka that got on the end of it. Meunier, I believe. Meunier got the header across, and then Zanka just came out of nowhere, literally out of nowhere, into space and slotted it in. And it was a great goal to watch. And I think David De Gea didn't have a chance. You could put a little bit of blame on Pogba jumping up against Meunier. He could have done better. If you watch the replay, he could have done better. He could have put Meunier off a bit more. He could have been a bit more physical, but Pogba, 2 goals today, absolutely played out of his skin. I can't fault him for the rest of his for those 88 minutes or however it was. He played amazing. That was the first error he made, and it cost us a goal. But yeah, I could see your frustration with Lindelof because he was quite deserving of a clean sheet that game.
Yeah, and well, talking of clean sheets, the team which nobody or everybody seems to have a defender from, why wouldn't you? Because they've got the best defence in the league. 7 goals conceded. And you had Trent Alexander-Arnold. Everybody's talking about the fact that why would Klopp play Trent in this game when he's got who is it? Arsenal next, and then City, and out saving from them match, and then of course he plays today. Not only does he get a clean sheet, he also gets an assist. He's going to get 2-3 bonus points. I think it's 2, isn't it, Jason?
He's
today?
getting two bonus points. Yeah, Salah's getting 1. But the thing is, the thing is though, he's been out now for a couple of weeks, and if Klopp would have been a bit silly to start him next week against Arsenal, having been out for three weeks. So that he needed the game time, he needed the fitness. So I can definitely see the reasoning behind Klopp starting TAA this game. But yeah, we'll drop down to United because I feel that again, having watched the game, it was a breath of fresh air. I know it's Huddersfield, and I'm not going to get carried away, but it was purely the attacking play again from United. Now Huddersfield had their spells in the game. They did have their spells. For the second half, the beginning of the second half, for the first 10-15 minutes into the second half, they posed a real threat against United. But on the counter and just general passing play, I was happy with United's performance. It was a good result. It's a great result at Old Trafford. The fans were singing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's name, and the buzz that's around Old Trafford is continuing. And I think now a lot of people are starting to realise that United have actually got some bargain assets to get in.
Yeah.
So don't be surprised if the next day or two you're starting to see price rises again for Man United, especially Pogba.
I was going to say, do you think that actually Pogba was the one to bring in, not Rashford?
Hindsight's great. I mean, people in chat on the weekend were saying about Pogba. When I was talking about Martial, Rashford, Lingard, I said to everybody, I said, look, I'm going to let Pogba. It's a to be seen on Pogba, because Pogba's been really hot and cold, and mainly cold this season. Now I know he had a problem with Mourinho, but he showed today the class that he's got in his locker. If he can perform like that on most game weeks, he is going to be in majority of FPL managers' teams. I really think today he showed his true class. And I will put my hands up in the air and I say I didn't even consider Pogba before today, and now he looks potentially like a great replacement for those who maybe own Sane, maybe looking to change out a Spurs or even Sterling, as a result of his frustrating midweek game that he's had today. But yeah, United performing really well. Let's just see what the guys in chat are saying. Salah will score a brace against Arsenal. I wouldn't put it past him. Arsenal's got a makeshift.
Don't you? Mane's got a decent, I believe. I'll look at the history on whatever day I do it, but I believe Mane's got a decent record versus Arsenal.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't be surprised if Arsenal concede 3 goals, 4 goals, because their back line at the moment is real bad. And I don't know if you saw the highlights or saw the game today. Did you see the game today? Oh
no,
God! Who was it? Chat. You might need to help me out. Who was it that headed? Was it Kolasinac? Was it Kolasinac that headed the ball back? And it was just it was real bad defending. And Lacadia, that was it. Lacadia came in and just slotted it neatly around the goalkeeper, Leno, for a great equalising goal. But yeah, it was 6s and 7s at the back for Arsenal, and we'll go on to their game. But can we just talk about Spurs? Because you mentioned being a Kane owner, you must be livid. If I was to tell you at the beginning of the day, as a Kane captainer, that Spurs are going to score 5 goals against Bournemouth, but Kane's only going to be involved in 1 of those goals, you'd be like, you're having a laugh. Son, again, 2 goals.
Well, if you and anybody in the chat remember, and this is going to be a Steve-O mini kind of rant in a way.
Oh, it's Lichtsteiner. Okay, Vince, thanks for that. Sorry.
What I hate about me playing fantasy football is that I'm not going to deny it. Like every single person that plays fantasy football, we seem to as Dan keeps banging on about, we do this double-edged sword thing where we overthink everything and then we just follow everybody like sheep. Fine. But if you remember in the preview podcast, I said that, well, I answered the point about would I captain Son over Kane and maybe for this game against Bournemouth. And I said, I'm personally going to stick with Kane for safety because I've already got Son in my team. But I was in the back of my head, I was thinking, but recent history, when I was looking at the goals scored, Son has got a really good record against Bournemouth. And I'm just to and fro and going, no, stick to safety, stick to safety. It was an obvious choice sticking with Kane. But then I also said in the pod about the fact that it looks like Lucas Moura's playing. That always has an impact on Kane. To stick to go and put it on Son. You're nodding your head then. Yeah, you're right. When I heard Kane had come off on the 76th minute mark, I'm just like, right, that does it. I looked at how to bring in Salah, but I think I've personally missed the boat on Salah's points now, simply because he's got two very, very, let's be honest here, but whatever we may think about the Arsenal game upcoming, there's two tough fixtures. And he's notorious for not doing that well in these big games. But yeah, I'm not the only one that captain. I know there are, well, obviously millions, but certainly within our own mini leagues, Kane was a very, very popular captain choice. And when I just, like you said, when I see he gets one goal in a 5-goal win, and of course the other day he got just a goal and assist in a 4-0 win. No, was he getting the other game 2 goals? Was it or something else?
What, previous game week?
I'm so quick and fast now.
Well, the previous game week, he got 2 goals and an assist. So he did really well. He did well on Sunday with the 6-2 victory over Everton. He did return really well. So I can see why majority of people went with Kane, because 2 goals and assists, you're happy with that. You know, and
it's like you said about Alonso, and I always keep banging on about that. Is these particular players worth the price when there are cheaper players bringing in similar returns? Well, again, I stated in the last podcast that Kane is delivering, but actually Son is delivering at a higher points rate. And actually, when I went and did I haven't done it, but I went to do a pretend rage transfer. I was getting rid of Kane. I was getting rid of a cheap, I think it was Richarlison I was thinking of getting rid of, a Felipe Anderson, whichever one. And I was getting rid of Matt Ryan to bring in Fabianski, Salah, and then I had 10.5 to bring in a possible high-end striker, but there isn't any. So I was kind of looking at a cheap striker, and I'm just thinking, Steve-O, just calm down, relax. But yeah, frustration is a very... I'll tell you what, I'm more angry at the United conceding a goal, because it's my differentials that I seem to pick. Just not performing for you. No.
But you can guarantee you'll get him out, and then he'll have a bang. He'll clean sheet and get an assist or something. No, but the thing is, Brett Mollison in chat makes a good point about Harry Kane. You feel like you have to captain Kane because of the 12.5 million price tag. So you feel automatically you feel compelled that, you know, he's taken up that amount of budget. You feel he's got to pay me back in points to warrant his price. I'm going to stick the armband on him. And sometimes when you look at Son, because he's that much cheaper, it's like your mentality kind of thinks he's cheaper, so he's not as good. Yeah. Honestly, it does. But I can say right now that I think Son, in the last 3-4 games, is a better footballer than Kane. In those games, he's played better football. He's been in the right positions, and he has scored, and continues to score.
Son's return in his last 5 fixtures has been 8, 14, 1. He made a 15-minute cameo against Burnley.
That you can't really count that.
No, 21, and today 12 plus 2 bonus, 14.
That's crazy.
That is absolutely insane. Whereas someone like Kane, has been delivering consistently, but a bit like with Aguero.
But don't forget, he's also a midfielder as well. So if they get a clean sheet, he's getting added points as well.
Yeah.
And if you captain him,
it's weird when you look at Kane's as well. It's almost very similar in a way. But just because what you just said regarding the fact that he's not a midfielder, so his last 5 have been 12-1 because of the sub-appearance versus Leicester, 5-15, and today he gets 6. And ironically, he misses out by a couple of bonus point, however it works out, behind Son. I think Kane got 37 and Son got 39. It's just so frustrating. But moving on to frustration from a real life perspective, Arsenal drawing 1-1 with Brighton. Aubameyang getting the goal, Lacazette again, these two linking up again. I think they've scored something like... I'm being over the top here, by the way. I think they've scored something like 50 goals and assists between them. It's absolutely ridiculous whenever they start together. But, of course, Kolasinac getting a flaming yellow card, which doesn't help. Aubameyang getting 2 bonus. And at the moment, as it stands, 1-1 between Watford and Chelsea. So, shall we have a look at our teams, Jason? I think certainly we'll start with yours.
Okay, then we'll load it up. So yeah, 78 points. But for those who don't know, I took a -8. Now, I took a -8 to bring in players who, incidentally, haven't done absolutely anything for me this game week. Okay, Richarlison got the goal, but he also got the yellow card, so he did get the 5 points. So yeah, he's paid for himself essentially. However, I took out Snodgrass for Richarlison, so Snodgrass could do something tomorrow night, and it would have been could end up being a negative. So Martial,
at the moment you're -5 overall, but that's not including Snodgrass, or including a sub appearance. So that is -5 so far.
But in a weird way, if Chicharito does something tomorrow night, gets to
in your luck.
If he does something, then it's written in the stars, because there's no way that because Chicharito wouldn't have been featured in my team.
Your rank is going to go through the roof.
Well, maybe.
Son, Alexander-Arnold. These are 3, I think. I don't know what, as a percentage-wise, have got in the top 5,000 or whatever it is, but I would like to think it's quite low at the moment. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure you could bring up the statistics, but you must be at Dean. I'm just looking at it now. It's just like...
when you look at, like...
I can't deal with it.
Son, Salah, Digne. I mean... To be fair, Alexander-Arnold, 9 points. Wan-Bissaka's going to get 8 points. Alexander-Arnold's going to get 11 points. So once you add it all up, I'm going to hopefully recover those 8 points that I took a hit for with just bonus. And I know it's a weird way of looking at it, because it wasn't a direct result of the transfers I made in. But I don't always regard bonus. Bonus is essentially what it is. It's bonus to the points that you've scored. So... at the moment, I think I'm in the region of 10 bonus points coming in. So, a very good game week. Coming off a poor game week last weekend.
It's a penalty, Jason. Hold on. We have a penalty.
A penalty? To who?
Yeah, Ben for Chelsea have got a penalty, so it looks like Hazard's going to be getting...
Oh, no.
Yeah. Hasn't someone captained him in our top? I'm sure it's Darren Monday. I'm going to look now.
Let's have a quick look.
Darren Monday. Oh, he's got him as vice captain. All right, okay.
He's got a vice Salah captain. Nice.
Yeah. Sorry, Jason, you were saying.
Yeah. So I just want to know what. Hang on. Let's just find out if he scores. Have you got the radio on now? Have you?
I've got the radio on, so keep chatting. It's all right.
Okay. So yeah. Like we've.
He's got it. Scored.
He scored. Okay, no, we don't care about that. I don't know him. So Aubameyang getting the 6 points. I don't think he's due any bonus, is he?
He's getting 2.
Is he getting 2?
He's getting 2 bonus.
Oh, yeah. That's nice then. No, he's getting 2 bonus. Yeah, he is. And then Lacazette's getting bonus 1. But yeah, other than that, I've got the Chicharito. I'm hoping for Chicharito to do something. Fabianski to get a clean sheet. I've got Target and Cedric on my bench, which I don't think I'm going to have to worry about. But yeah, all in all, a good week. I can't really say much more, really. I got quite fortunate with my choices.
Well, talking of good weeks, if we move on to Ben Towler in second, 52 points as it stands. But he's got Digne coming off the bench. That's going to be 17 points. He's got Hazard. Hasn't even added his goal yet. So that's 57 now then as it stands. He took a 4-point hit. He got rid of Pedro and Wilson and brought in Martial and Ings. So at the moment, so far, he's -2 overall. But I'm sure Ings, with his at the moment with his goal scoring form, will probably do something. The way his game week's going at the moment, is probably going to do something.
Hazard's going to get bonus 3 as well, but his bonus, of course, I mean, his bonus scores going through the roof at the moment. So
he just has to turn up on the pitch and he gets 3 bonus points straight away.
Yeah. So he's going to be on for a whopping score at the moment. Hazard's on 14.
Like
Hazard's on 14 points at the moment. So he's going to be obviously 2 goals, 10.
He's going to go through on the cup as well, because the player that he's playing against, what they called it, Stuart Porter, his team name GW19. It's going to be close, but because of the points coming off the bench, Ben's going to go through. Yeah, he's going to go through.
So yeah, well done to Ben Towler. He looks like he's going to retain second place in the league.
Easily.
We go down to Connor Lee in third place.
Yeah. He's another 1 point off the blinking bench.
Yeah. So again, guys,
I get so annoyed looking at this.
-1 Foster. Walker didn't play. Wan-Bissaka +8 off the bench. But yeah, guys, we're talking about our Torbay Elite mini league. It's just a cash mini league which we take seriously. We just cover the top 4 teams and how they've done. But yeah, Connolly, pretty well performed. I mean, obviously disappointment in Rashford, Mitrovic, Sane again not doing anything, Mane. Robertson with a clean sheet, but then
that's a point. You'll be disappointed with Mane, 4 goals and getting nothing.
Yeah,
that'll be very frustrating.
And going down to Darren Monday, and he's got a score of 59, with yet Fabianski to play and Ings, and Felipe Anderson, yes, yet to play. But other than that, it's a solid score. It's above average, and he's most likely going to see a green arrow. As a result of captaining Salah, I believe, and obviously owning Hazard as well.
Yeah, if we look at Terry Roosters, the only reason why we look at Terry Roosters is because he played his free hit chip, and it turned out to do very, very well indeed.
Has it?
At the moment, 57 points. Various bonuses going to come in, and I worked out that he, from his last team, is going to be +43.
+43?
But because this is just based on his previous team, by the way.
Right.
And this is prior to Hazard scoring. So actually, if I didn't do the maths now, it'd be...
What, Terry Roos?
Terry Roos, yeah.
If he doesn't own Hazard?
No, his previous team.
Oh,
so
okay.
Yeah. So barring that, but this was all done prior to this match being played. He was +43. So originally, barring the Hazard, he was only on 19 points.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
so it's actually worked out really well for him playing his free hit then. Yeah.
I think you're the only one where the free hit hasn't worked out. Is that right?
I think so. Yeah. I don't want to keep getting reminded of that though, Steve-O. So let's have a look at your team though, Steve-O, shall we? So you're on 51 points, obviously pre-bonus.
Yeah.
Now you've got Son in your team. And you've got Kane in your team. We spoke about that. And obviously Son outscoring Kane again for the second game week in a row. Kolasinac, very unlucky, got a yellow card. Arsenal conceding from a defensive error. I mean, you could argue that's very unlucky. But Brighton did take the game to Arsenal and deserved a point. Lindelof, I would say that's very unlucky. Second game week in a row now where he's been unlucky. United just
Do you
seem
think,
to don't.
as a United fan, is he a mainstay now in the team? You think that back four is settled?
I think so. I think he's done a good job in the last couple of games. It was just like I said, it was a very fortunate flick on by Meunier that fell to Zanka, and it was one of those where Pogba could have done better, but the defenders were not to blame for it. It was a great flick on, and Zanka just came out of nowhere and slotted it in. It was just one of those. Obviously, Robertson got the 6 points. How do you feel about your team going forward?
It's one of those where, ironically, I'm actually happy with it. It's just the luck.
It's got good balance.
Kane captaincy, see, as an example, did it work? Well, yeah, obviously it works. But when you look at players like yourself that have Salah and other top teams within the overall ranks, with Salah as captain, and I do know that the guy that owns the Fantasy Football Scout site, he's Captain Hazard. And there's been all this talk on that particular site, especially on their podcast, that he is just doing so well after he did some ridiculous transfer hits. And since then, he's just been flying up the table. And so today, Hazard is captain.
So Simon Bellamy has said, like, he's trying to work out why haven't you got a high-performing premium midfielder in Hazard or Salah? What's the reasoning behind negating?
Who, me?
Yeah, the reason. Yeah, I know you got Sterling, but did you have you not been tempted to bring a Hazard or a Salah in? I know you've gone Kane and Aubameyang. Yeah,
I made that transfer hit. Remember, I made this point in the last couple of podcasts ago.
The 12 points.
Yeah, the 12-point hit, and why I got rid of I justified why I did it, and it turned out that actually I was only off by 1 point.
But in future weeks with Hazard and Salah returning, if you hadn't have done that transfer and made those transfers for the -12, you probably would be plus.
That is true, but I look more at premium strikers personally than I do normally at premium midfielders.
I think one premium striker is enough. That's just my opinion.
I think
it might switch around, but at the moment, I feel that premium strikers generally haven't been. I mean, Kane has in the last couple of. I mean, last week, the weekend, he returned well, but generally speaking, premium strikers haven't been firing in the goals anywhere near as consistently as the high priced midfielders. But that's the great thing. Everyone's got their own sort of projected outlook of the game, and you can't read the future. And I can definitely see why you've gone with Aubameyang and Kane in. And obviously Aubameyang has returned. So it's just a case of weighing up the strength of your team.
I think, thinking aloud at the moment, I certainly think that maybe a Sterling to Hazard could be my next move. But again, it's like one of those where I'm almost like...
But then you're going to go with no Man City assets. Are you confident going forward with no Man City?
That's exactly the thing. So
see, if I was going to do that, I would do Sterling to Hazard and almost go back to game week 1 and the early days of fantasy, where Sterling to Hazard, Aubameyang to Aguero, reset back, and now Aguero's back in the team. Have that.
Actually, I wouldn't get rid of Aubameyang. I'd get rid of Kane.
What's his fixtures like? Liverpool away, Fulham. Yeah, he's got some good fixtures coming up still, and has Kane. I mean, Kane is hot and cold, but you said it yourself. He's not getting the returns that you'd hope that the scoreline suggests. And Mora does affect his position, and Son is getting on the end of balls and scoring goals. Kane is almost surplus at the moment to Spurs' requirement in terms of goal scoring. So yeah, anything else you want to say about your team, Steve-O?
Well, like I said, I'm actually quite happy. ironically, I'm happy with my team. It's just been the stereotypical luck of FPL, which has completely failed me. I mean, talking of which, Dan, if we look at Dan's quick team, the other host, he's not here today, but we'll quickly look at his team. His transfers, he did a two free transfers, and actually up by +3. So
what transfers did he? Let's just see. He brought Shaw in. I see. So he
got rid of Report and Hernandez.
Shaw and Rashford. So he got rid of Chicharito and. Rashford's come back with 2. Now, tomorrow night, it could punish him.
Yes.
Shaw, very unlucky not to get the 6 points. I do think Shaw's a good asset. As soon as United start keeping clean sheets, I think you'll see the Shaws coming into teams. And even Ashley Young, who didn't start today, incidentally. Right, so that Dan 53 points. He's had all his players played.
Yes,
all his players played now. So obviously bonus points is going to be added to that. So he's hopefully looking towards up to 60, all being well and good. Kolasinac, that yellow card meant he only got the 1 point return from him. He must be a disappointed Arsenal fan today. He must be. So we're going to look in chat, see what the chat is saying. So Vince Chapman says 5 points for strikers versus 6 points for mids. Simple maths. Again, there is a lot of... I think there's a lot of mileage.
That's true, but strikers are expected to score the goals and midfielders create, if you were to kind of count that.
But then I
see the point.
You've got a lot of teams playing just a sole striker with the midfielder, with the wingers. It's one of those. You either go in midfield, stronger midfield, or you go premium up top. 1 or 2 premiums. Some would say, like me, that 2 premiums is too much up front. With the amount of really good mid-price options at the moment, you got I mean, Wilson's not been doing it lately, but up until a couple of weeks ago, Wilson was on fire. Jimenez, you got even Ings as a great price option, and also it allows you to spread your funds out a bit more, so you can upgrade your midfielders from a 5.5 mil midfielder maybe up to 6.5 to 7 mil. That's certainly what I've managed to do. Hazard will be shit for 8 games in 3 game weeks time. Hazard, I don't think Hazard. I don't think Hazard and shit can go in the same sentence. To be honest, Vince, he is one of the best, if not the best, midfielder in the Premier League. And I don't think there's many people that would disagree in terms of pure technical skill and finesse. Son is going to the Asian. He's going to the Asian games, Simon, not African nations.
Not for a few more weeks.
He's correcting himself. We got Brett Mollison saying the essentials change every game week. Yeah, of course. People jump on last week's scores. There's going to be a lot of people transferring Pogba in, and there's going to be people transferring Hazard in now as a result of this game, I would imagine. So
it's going to be. It's obvious people are going to be getting rid of Sterling and they're going to bring in Hazard. That's going to be the knee jerk.
Sterling to Hazard is going to be. I would be surprised if Sterling doesn't drop by the weekend. I would be surprised.
I believe he's dropping tonight. Actually,
is he? I haven't looked at it myself, but yeah, and I'd imagine Hazard will be the popular choice to bring in. So yeah, it's been an interesting Boxing Day. Guys in chat, if you have anything else to add, let us know.
Well, no. Well, I was going to say, have a look at the Elite FPL, which is of course the Elite FPL mini league. And if anybody wants to join it, the league code is up on the screen right now. And top of that is Mr. Jack Gleason. I don't think he's in chat.
Jack, are you around? Let's have a look. See if Jack's in. Jack, are you here? I think I may have seen him earlier, but I might have been mistaken. No, I haven't seen his name. What to do?
When your luck's in. He's on 77 points, and who's coming off the bench? Herrera.
He's got a minus 4. Pereira on the bench. Yeah, absolutely.
But who did he bring in there? Look at this. He got rid of Sterling, Sane, and Felipe Anderson. Brought in Salah, Martial, and Son. He's up by 22 points.
Absolutely amazing transfer. Those transfers have paid off massively, and that's what will keep him in the top 500. I mean, he's at 115 now, and I can see him being in the top 100. He's going to be in the top.
Absolutely.
He's going to be in the top 100, and we've got a guy with a team in the top 100 in the FPL, leading our elite FPL mini league at the moment. It's absolutely insane. It just seems everything he does seems to turn to gold at the moment, and fair play. When he watches this back, he's going to have a big smug smile on his face, and rightly so. He should do. He captained Kane, so that's that he would be. He'd probably be a bit disappointed that he maybe didn't choose Salah, but Kane was the I would say that Kane was pretty much, was he the most popular or second most popular? I think Salah was the most popular. But again, you own Kane, you feel that you're compelled to captain him. Weirdly, over Salah. Weirdly, even though Salah costs more money. But, everyone's got their reasoning. But yeah, 77 points minus the 4, and obviously the bonus points to come in. He's going to be in the top 100, definitely, especially with Pereira coming in off the bench. Second place, we've got Paul Wickett. Yeah, he's on a 58, so it's not quite at 77, but he hasn't taken a hit. He's going to be disappointed again with Arsenal in the 1-1. Kolasinac with the 1 point. He's got Fabianski yet to play, just like me. His midfield hasn't done too bad. Obviously, Sane being the standout blank there, but Salah, Son, and Richarlison all returning for him. Now it was his front line now of Rashford and Jimenez scoring 2 points apiece. But he did captain Kane over Salah again. This is a Kane captain over Salah. It could have been a different story if he captained Salah, but another Trent Alexander-Arnold owner as well. With obviously Doherty as well. So his front line and his defence really let him down this game week.
When you move on to third spot, I mean, I thought I was feeling bad. How on earth is Ian Darlington when you look at his first sub?
Well, Ian normally joins us. Ian normally joins us in the chat, but he's not in the chat at the moment to rationale his game week. But 55 points. He made one.
I look at that. And don't get me wrong. Obviously, Ian is about 50,000 places above me. But I would have played DIGNE ahead of either Jimenez or either one of Doherty or Wan-Bissaka personally.
He's going to be praying for a Christmas miracle tomorrow night. That Snodgrass somehow gets injured or feels ill, or has a bad case of the flu, and DIGNE comes in for him because he's going to be kicking himself for benching DIGNE.
Brilliant captain.
He's nailed the captain choice. I think he's going to be happy there. But it's a 55 pointer. Could have been a different story if he had have played DIGNE over Doherty. Doherty is a mainstay for a lot of people. I understand that, but his fixtures aren't great, and it was Fulham. I could see why he played Doherty. I really can, and he had a great chance, Doherty, in that game. So it's just one of those where he's going to be feeling a little bit sick over that decision. We've all been there.
Talking of feeling sick, and makes me feel a bit better with what is it, third place or fourth place?
Suman Gutton, yeah.
Well, but look at his team. Look at his bench. Look at the bench. Oh, it's so harsh. He is going to be dropping like a stone in the overall ranks today. Look at those 1.2 pointers everywhere, and on the bench, you know why he's played these players. I can see why these players have been played, but that is so tough to take. And he's got nobody. He won't have anybody coming off the bench. No, unless Felipe Anderson doesn't play.
It's just a team of twos, isn't it, Steve-O? It's just a team of twos. Yeah. Six of his 11 scoring 2 points. Davis with the 1 point. The only person coming back with a goal was Kane, who he got the captaincy on. And obviously Felipe Anderson's going to have to do something miraculous tomorrow night for him to stay. I would imagine to stay in the top 5,000. I think that if Felipe Anderson doesn't perform or doesn't do anything, then yeah, he's going to probably drop out the 5,000, maybe 6,000-7,000 in the world. That's being positive for him. But look at that, Wan-Bissaka on the bench was staring him in the face with 6 points. Going to get the bonus 2 just to rub it in a bit more. Pereira, I'm just going to quickly just double check. Pereira's on 9 points at the moment.
He's on 9, is he?
Yeah, he's on bonus 2. So if that stays the way it is, I mean, you know, he's going to feel 17 points sitting on the bench. He's going to feel sick. And I feel for him because I've been there. We've all been there. We've all had players play really well on the bench for us, and we've like, oh my god, why did
looking at Brett Mollison's team? He went. If Brett wants to explain why he went with Son captain, I mean, to be fair, looking at his team,
where is he? Where's Brett? Where is he at? Let me find him.
He's quite low down, but his team's done really well this week. 55 points. He's down in. I
got him. Yeah. He's currently sitting down at 40th in the Elite FPL podcast. Hopefully he'll move up now as a result. He's got 55 points, hasn't taken a hit, did one transfer. The transfer he did was he took out Ali.
Well. Another one that captain's done.
Yeah, so he did well. He took out Ali, who didn't feature, and brought in Lingard, who did return an assist. So yeah, he done really well. Captain Son, he's an Isaac success owner. His team have all played apart from. Sorry, Fabianski's yet to play from. Oh, and Felipe Anderson. I do apologise. So Felipe Anderson and Fabianski yet to play for him. So he could end up getting a solid score this week of plus 60 points quite easily. Probably up towards 70 points, I'd imagine, by the end of the game week. I think he's done really well. I think he's going to be quite happy with that. So yeah, anything else in chat? Let's have a look in chat, see what's going on. Truly, I feel small. Dejan, let's see if we can find Dejan's team quickly, see how he's done this game week.
5, I just looked at it.
Yeah, so he's got 45 with the -4. Dejan. 45, so 41 points, pre-bonus points. He did captain Salah, so he did get that right, but he did have a weak defence of Alonso, Doherty and Kolasinac, which on paper, I can see exactly why you did it. Joe Hart, normally getting massive points with save points, concedes 5 goals at Everton, away at Everton, and sorry, at home to Everton, I beg your pardon, and minus... you know, he's got the -2 for conceding the 5, ruling out his minutes played, got 0 points. He's going to be feeling bad, but he did captain Salah over Kane, so props for doing that. He got Wan-Bissaka on the bench as well, again rubbing salt into the wound. Lindelof, he did bench Lindelof, but yeah, he's going to be feeling quite disappointed. Dejan, it's just a bad week, dude. We all have bad weeks. We've all been there. Watch the podcast. Most weeks I have bad weeks. It's fine. Don't worry about it. We've got Alice in chat. We've got what to do with Martial. J-Boy, wait and see on Martial. Unless you really want to get him out. You know, if you can afford a Pogba, I think I would hold on with Martial just for the moment, just to see what you know, what the situation is with him. Again with Sterling as well. Keep hold of him. Jason, I'd just like to say I'm loving this family-friendly stream. Start time of 4:15 a.m. It's much easier to negotiate than 2:30 a.m. before work. No worries, Brett. I applaud you for getting up so early in the morning. And Dejan Checo says, I feel sick. Yeah, dude, we've all been there, and that's the highs and lows of fantasy football. We all feel great one week, and then the next week we're down in the gutter, and we just want to forget. The amount of times I've just been like, I don't want to think about fantasy football for the remaining week. I just don't even want to discuss it. And then we have to do a podcast, and then you have to kind of like forget how badly your team did just to talk about the next game. There's always next game week. It's only
days away.
So is the score still 2-1? Let's have a look. It is.
Yeah,
it's
it's
83rd minute. Chelsea beating Watford 2-1 currently. I started game week 2 and then I took a massive hit around game week 8. On the comeback trail, it's a marathon, not exactly in a marathon, not a sprint. And it's all about just slowly taking your time, making those transfers, taking the highs and the lows, and not getting dejected when it doesn't pay off, because next week it could definitely pay off. So yeah, I think we've discussed in detail the results of the games, and we've discussed our teams. We've touched on the Torbay's Elite. We've touched on the Elite FPL. Steve, is there anything else you want to add before we wrap up?
I think there we are. Let's wrap it up. Let's get that. Let's get going, Jason.
Thank you so much for the feedback, Brett. It means a lot that you keep coming back at silly times in the morning to watch our podcasts, and we'll continue. We'll continue. However, I have an announcement to make. I will be only able to. This will be my penultimate podcast. I'll be around on the Friday, but I don't exactly know what we're going to do. But just to let everybody know that doesn't know, I'm going to be travelling to Gatwick on the Saturday, the 29th. So I'm not going to be able to do a podcast with the guys at the weekend to react to the game week. But that'll be it now, because we're not going to be doing another one. This is it. So I won't be back now until the week commencing game week 21 or something like that, I believe it is. 22, game week 22, I think. So I'm gonna be away for a couple of weeks. But the podcast is in good hands with Steve-O and Dan, who are far more knowledgeable than me, and they get the predictions better than me. So you might want to pay attention to what they say. But they'll be doing it. They'll be uploading the videos for the forthcoming game weeks. But yeah, I look forward to tuning into them like you guys and giving my input. We're going to South Africa. Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be good. Thank you ever so much, Dejan. Halfway point of the season, plenty of time to push for the top 10k. Absolutely. And we look forward to the next time we do the podcast, which will be the weekend. Are you going to be doing a podcast this weekend with Dan? Have you discussed it with Steve-O, or are you yet to decide?
I haven't personally discussed it with him. I would like to do one for obviously our preview and everything. Like you've just explained, I don't want to keep banging on about it. Unfortunately, we won't be able. I don't think we're able to do a live one because you're the one with all the tech gear and everything. It would just be a standard uploaded, short, quick preview version, which is a shame because we really do like interacting with you guys. Yeah. Unfortunately, technology, but we're going to try our best to definitely get our preview and reactory podcast out when we can. And also, you can talk to us via our Instagram. So if something happens, the game week, we'll post our reactions to the game week as well, and we'll ask questions on there, and you guys can let us know how your team's performed and what transfers you're going to be doing. But generally, we're really active on Instagram, so give us a follow on there. It's at Elite FPL. It should be in the description on our YouTube. Guys, if you haven't already hit that subscribe button, please do so. We have a lot of people tuning in who haven't actually subscribed to us, believe it or not. So yeah, hit that subscribe button and press that little bell, and that will give you a notification when we do go live next. As Steve-O's mentioned, it's probably going to be uploaded for the next few weeks, but then we'll be back to live podcasts mid-January onwards. But yeah, guys, thank you ever so much for your support. It means a lot to us, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Yep. See you later, guys.